Oh, cherry blossoms in Gamsansa Temple. The air is so bright and clear that we can see far into the distance. Even if the life of flowers is typically short, there are none more transitory than these cherry blossoms. Such ephemeral things are generally not welcome in temples, so cherry trees are unusual in this sort of location. So why does this temple, only 2.5 miles from Gamsansa Temple, welcome these cherry blossoms? Does it believe that all things are created equal? Since it's sunny and bright today, everything that can swell swells, everything that can explode explodes, and everything that can be spilled is spilled. It is as if a beehive has been spilled all over the cherry trees. When we came to this temple about 30 years ago, there was one 3-story pagoda in the temple yard. It seemed like a quiet private home. Since the temple appears in Samguk-yusa, it presumably survived from the Silla dynasty to the Korea dynasty. In 1915, during colonial rule, a Japanese official who was investigating the ruins of Gyeongju found a stone statue of Maitreya Bodhisattva and one of Amitabha Buddha here. After he read the inscriptions on the backs of the statues, he was certain that they belonged to Gamsansa Temple as referenced in Samguk-yusa. These statues were on display at the special exhibition of art in memory of the 5th anniversary of Japanese colonial rule in 1915. Since then, they have not been able to return home. These two national treasures of Korea are now enshrined in the National Museum of Korea in Seoul. The pagoda in the temple yard looks sleek. If you go around the Gyeongju Hall, there is a 3-story stone pagoda on the run. Although there are no body stones on the second and third stages of this pagoda, is it possible that it has crossed over several ages? It appears to be proud of its centuries-long loneliness. The cherry tree is its old friend. It was in 1965 when the collapsed fragments on the site were restored. In the spacious Gyeongju Hall, only one stone Vairocana Buddha is enshrined. After its splendid siblings went to Seoul, the youngest one looked after the temple. Let's visit the National Museum in Seoul to see the 2 Buddhas deported from here a century ago. The National Museum is bright in the May sunshine. The pond water is clear. The 2 Buddhas are placed innermost in the Buddhist sculpture room on the 3rd floor, as if they were the masters of the other Buddhas. At first glance, they look like outstanding works of art. Let's look at the stone standing Maitreya Bodhisattva of Gamsansa Temple first. This is more elaborate than any other Buddha statue in Silla. In the absence of the weathering, the details seem newly carved like the Buddhas of Sakuram Grotto. The crown on the head is splendid. His face, arms, and chest are so voluminously soft that it seems that they might give way if pressed. There are 2 strands of ornate necklace around the neck. The string of beads comes down to the legs. The clothes flow romantically starting from the left shoulder. They pass under the right armpit and wrapped round his right arm. The skirt begins at the waist belt and decorates the ankle with its smooth curves. The halo is shaped like a ship. It is lined with flame patterns as if the whole statue were on fire. Look at this stone-standing Amitabha Buddha of Gamsansa Temple. He has a young face, as if he were the child of Maitreya Bodhisattva, his companion. There's no fancy corona or bead decoration here. The Buddha is only wearing a one-piece dress. Its folds and creases express both beauty and art. The flame patterns occupy the outer part of the halo, as with the other statue. The two flower ornamented bands are gorgeous. The upper petal of the lotus pedestal are very fresh and steep. The inscriptions on the reverse side of the two Buddhas' halo are very significant. We are not just getting historical information from them. We are also learning about the thought and emotions of the Silla people who made the statues. Both inscriptions have similar content, but their times of creation are different. The inscription on the Maitreya Bodhisattva was carved in 719, the year of the foundation of Gamsansa Temple. That of the Amitabha Buddha was probably engraved after 720. There's a slight difference in the names of the people mentioned in these inscriptions. However, when we consider that William Shakespeare's name was spelled in various ways, even in England of the 16th to 17th centuries, this is not a problem. Let's examine the content of the inscriptions. First of all, we know that Gamsansa Temple was established by Kim Ji-sung in 719. Who was Kim Ji-sung? According to the inscription, he was one of the highest aristocrats of Silla. His great-grandfather was King Taejong Muyeol. His grandfather was Kim Gae-won, King Munmu's brother. His father was Kim In-jang, a cousin of King Shin-mun. His mother was Kwanchori, so he was a second cousin of the current King Seongdeok. He held a high office in the administrative ministry, but at the age of 67, he retired from that office and lived in a quiet place. In 719, the 18th year of King Seongdeok's reign, Kim Ji-sung donated a rural estate of 20 li for the building of Gamsansa Temple and the creation of the statue of Maitreya. He wanted to pray before it for the repose of his late father Kim In-jang, his mother Kwanchori, his grandfather, an uncle, a monk, a sister, his ex-wife, his post-wife, and his elder brother. In addition, when his mother died, he scattered her bones around Hunji. The following year, when Kim Ji-sung passed away, Gamsansa Temple commissioned a stone statue of Amitabha Buddha and engraved another inscription on its back. Kim Ji-sung was a free-thinking man without constraint. He believed in not just Buddhism, but also the precept of Laozi and Gyeongju. He loved nature and reading the chapter of Gyeongju titled Carefree Wandering. It's surprising that these two inscriptions were written by Seol-chong, the legendary scholar and writer of the time. Kim Ji-sung was Seol-chong's cousin's son. Seol-chong's mother was Princess Yoseok, Kim Ji-sung's great aunt. So Seol-chong and Kim In-jang were cousins. His two short inscriptions are very valuable and impressive. The abundant allusions and rhetoric, which express the utmost piety and devotion, make our heart reverent. Let's list some of the brilliant praises from the inscriptions. The most extreme way is beyond birth or death. Nungin seems to be both going and coming. Nungin refers to Buddha. Seol-chong describes the urban landscape of Gyeongju, the capital of kingdom at that time. The temples tower like dragon palaces. The pagodas are lined up like geese. Here is the boundary of Sravasti close to paradise. Sravasti is one of the most revered sites in Buddhism. There are many references to famine and illness in this age in Samguk Sagi, but the capital Gyeongju was compared to paradise by Kim Ji-sung. Since Kim Ji-jeon was born under the spiritual guidance of the mountains and the streams, along with the mercy of the constellations, his character harmonized with the cloud and the sunset. His soul is friendly with mountains and streams. Of course, Kim Ji-jeon is another name for Kim Ji-sung. As he wishes to thank his parents for their love, there's nothing better than the faith in the power of Buddha. As he wishes to return the grace of the Holy King, there's nothing better than having a relationship with the three jewels of Buddhism. These three jewels are Buddha, teaching, and the monastic order. So there is no other way than to abide by the three jewels in thanking for the love of the parents and the king. So he kneels and prays in front of his statue, so that his relationship may transcend all the earthly ways to the other world and make all the multitude in the sixth state of karmic existence struggle to earn perfect enlightenment. The author gives a brief description of Kim Ji-sung's personality. He loves mountains and streams and admires the free sauntering of Laoji and Zhangzhui. While worshipping Buddhism wholeheartedly, he especially wished to achieve the depth and tranquility of Asanga. Asanga is one of the most important spiritual figures of Mahayana Buddhism. The two Buddhas that he left behind are indication of amazing art, history, biography, and religion. They are valuable assets that growing generation deserve to learn about. The cherry blossoms begin to fall as we leave the temple. When we look back upon a noble aristocrat who lived 1,400 years ago, we suddenly desire to return to those times, and we feel as if we were also falling and scattering on the road like the white flowers now.